Okay, so this is part 2 of the South. Mongolia National Forest. The Mongolia National Forest in West Virginia is one of the largest tracts of protected eastern woodlands. This makes it a mecca for outdoors people of all stripes: anglers, hikers, mountain bikers, and paddlers. The forest's extensive network of backcountry trails will get you around a landscape dotted with highland bogs and dense thickets of blueberries. Black bears, foxes, beavers, woodchucks, opossums, and mink are among the mammals found in Mongolia. There are also dozens of types of fish in the streams, more than 200 feather species in the sky and the treetops, and 75 types of trees rooted in the forest fertile soil. There's a picture of the trees, and they look so pretty. Harpers Ferry National Historic Park. The town of Harpers Ferry, West Virginia, at the confluence of the Shenandoah and Potomac rivers, is best known for abolitionist John Brown's raid on an arsenal in 1959. He believed that with the weapons stored there, the slaves could fight for their own freedom. When the Civil War ended, Harpers Ferry became a focal point during Reconstruction. The town made many early attempts at integrating former slaves into society. This included the 1867 establishment of Storer College, one of the first integrated schools in the United States. Now designated Harpers Ferry National Historic Park, the town and surrounding areas in Virginia and Maryland create a popular way station for hikers traveling the Appalachian Trail. The town offers historical recreations, but visitors also come to fish, raft, or hike and explore. The small but historically important town of Harpers Ferry, West Virginia, has a population of a little more than 300. And it looks so pretty, too. Mammoth Cave. Mammoth Cave, the world's largest network of caverns, is hidden below the forested hills of southern Kentucky. There are more than 367 miles of underground passages on 5 different levels, and that's just what's been mapped thus far. New caves and passageways are still being discovered. The underground wonderland of spectacular Mammoth Cave is made up of limestone, which dissolves when water seeps through the ground. As the water works its way downward, the limestone erodes, forming the honeycomb of underground passageways, amphitheaters, and rooms that make up Mammoth Cave, as well as its dazzling array of stalagmites, stalactites, and columns. A special tour just for children called the Trog Tour explores the connections between the cave and the sunlit world above. Wearing hard hats and headlamps, children walk and crawl through various passageways as they learn how the cave was formed and what lives in it. There's one of the pictures of the cave, and there's a little camera. National Civil Rights Museum. This Memphis, Tennessee museum pays tribute to the many people involved in the struggle for civil rights in the United States. Built around the Lorraine Motel, where Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated in 1968, the museum chronicles the history of civil rights activities from the beginnings of slavery through the end of the 20th century. Exhibits focus on such events as the Civil War, the Supreme Court decision to desegregate schools, the lunch counter sit-ins, the Montgomery bus boycotts, and the March on Washington. Multimedia presentations and full-scale exhibits bring the civil rights movement to life. Exhibits include a public bus similar to the one ridden by Rosa Parks when she refused to move to the back seats, the burned shell of a Freedom Ride Greyhound bus, and the actual motel room where Dr. King stayed before he was slain. And that is such a powerful picture. I want to go visit it so bad. Beale Street. Beale Street in Memphis, Tennessee is truly a multi-sensory experience. Pots of gumbo and red beans and rice simmer at every corner, but the smells and tastes of Beale Street are just side dishes. The main course is the music played at the neon and brick clubs. Blues, soul, and rock and roll claim the perfectly imperfect city of Memphis as their birthplace, and all three get people dancing on Beale Street every night. In the early 20th century, Beale Street was one of the busiest markets in the South, with European immigrants selling goods to a largely African-American clientele. In the 1980s, Beale Street was redeveloped into an open-air, pedestrian-only center for music and nightlife. The old marketplace now hosts musicians, dancers, and sellers every night of the week. Memphis is home to Sun Records, the label that signed Elvis Presley to his first recording contract in 1954. My grandma would love to see that building.